Hi, everybody. Welcome to Daily Report by Outlier. So yesterday was a fun day. I mean, after I finished my daily report, I was exploring the platform, and really, lot of things that I found that we can make changes to the platform just came to my mind. I'll show you in a second what I'm talking about here, but I think we're going to add a lot more features to the platform that you will see in coming weeks. So I'm very, very excited about that. So let's get started. So again, for those who do not know me, I am co-founder and CEO of Outlier. We have been working on Outlier for many years now, actually. We were though in free pilot. We launched earlier this year, and right now we are growing. A lot of traders, a lot of other people who are active investors, they are joining us every day. And if you ask me what is Outlier, so we have developed algorithms that monitors how investors are reacting to changing market conditions. Think about, your um, Fed report is coming out, decision about Fed rate cut. You have these other events that are happening. There are certain news related to a certain stock that comes out, and then you see investors, traders, they react in certain way, which drives the price up and down. So for us, we have built this algorithm which kind of watches this reaction of how people are reacting for that particular stock, and our algorithm determines if the investors are being too fearful or greedy. We assign this daily score, and we have this lot of data points that we built out of this. So coming back to what's happening in the market, you guys are aware of, today by end of the day, there's gonna be an announcement of how much rate are we expecting, how much rate cut we are expecting. You may see 25 basis point, you may see 50 basis point. For now, like if you ask me as a trader, uh, yes, I see there are good setup in what outlier data is showing, and let me show you in a second what I'm talking about here. So I pull our market breadth tab, right? So I look at where it is going today. I see a positive sign. First of all, I see a positive sign. It already started moving in the upward direction a few days ago, right? As I said, this line, the green line right here, it plateaued around on September 13. It started moving up, which is a good sign. If I'm planning to go long, this is probably the kind of signal I'm looking for. Plus, uh, this chart right here is one of my favorite chart. Uptrend and downtrend count. What it tells me, within a sector or the index, how many stocks are in uptrend, downtrend. So there's a count every day, and when number of stocks in uptrend are going up, that count is going up, and the count for the number of stocks in downtrend is going down. That is a good sign to me if I am going long, because then I can say with high probability that sector or index or overall market is in that mode where the prices are probably going to push up. So which is good, and this tells me that it can be a good setup if you're looking for opportunities right now. But as you already are aware of that major decision that's coming out today, I would stay out of the market until that decision come out, because I don't know how the market is going to react to Fed's decision. So again, I may not be trading today, but this is what I'm seeing in Outlier portal. Uh, it's a great time to get in, but because of that external factor, I would wait. I would wait for to see how the market is going to react, because I don't know. The numbers are in that gray. Like back in COVID, you knew that how the rate cut is going to impact the prices. Right now, the employment numbers are like one day they announce some different number, then there is a some correction to those numbers. I mean, it's kind of like inflation is closer to 2.5. Fed's target is 2, so I don't know if they're going to go with 50 basis point or 25 basis point. We'll see. So let's move on to the next stage of my analysis. So I start with market breadth, always looking where the sector or where the index is going. So which is great. So the second stage where I look for is finding opportunities. So how do I do that? I simply come here and hold on and click on watch list, right? Every day you will see new stocks coming in bull list, which essentially is your buy list, and bear list. Yesterday, there were 50 new stocks in our daily bull list. Today, there are 63, which is again a good sign. You want to see that number going up if you are thinking that market is kind of going up. And there comes a point when it starts to change direction. And that's what you see on that market breadth, because it's a very, very good indicator where overall market is going. So let me expand this, right? So there are a lot of companies here. I can, of course, create a filter. I can choose which sectors I want to look at, or I can simply, just reset. I want to look at all the stocks which are in bull and bear list. Uh, I can do that. So what I did was I pulled one stock from today's list, uh, and this is Zillow. So let's look into Zillow. So Zillow is one of the company, I mean, you would expect is going to benefit from this rate cut indirectly. They are in business where people can search for homes, rentals, whatnot. They sell leads to realtors. I mean, they generate a lot of business in the real estate industry, and real estate sector is one of the sector which is going to get impacted by this rate cut in a good way. You know, so I think this is one of the company which again is you're gonna see some better um, opportunities in real estate sector. Or as I said yesterday, by looking at our market breadth data, you could have been little earlier, right? So you can already see like the last buy signal that came before today's signal was around, I would say, what was the date here? On August 12th, right? Uh, Closer to like a month ago, little less than a month ago, or little more than a month ago, I guess. Uh, at that point of time, we started seeing in real estate sector when I selected, right? So I come here. This is again one of the most important tab for me to look at, because if I am trading any stock, I want to make sure that the corresponding sector is kind of aligned. So I always go back, I always look at how that sector is moving. So back around this time, like around August. So let me just scroll this right here. Hey, good morning, David. Hey, good afternoon. So we have a couple of people who joined, and thanks for joining. Okay, so coming back to this analysis, around August 12, that is when the buy signal for Zillow came in, right? So I am looking at real estate sector. Around August 12, this is the date, and the number of stocks in uptrend and downtrend, like you see that number is changing. The number of stocks from September 12 to 13 in uptrend is going up, and in downtrend is going down, which is a good sign. And if a buy signal came for Zillow, which is in real estate sector at that time, that would be an interesting stock to me, because now sector is aligned. Your stock is saying, telling me the similar thing. A buy signal came, I would act on it. So this is a good thing. And the thing that I was telling you earlier, that one of the changes that we're going to add here is show you a daily value of delta. How many right now? All I'm doing is just simply looking at it very closely. The number of stocks are going up, down, which is good. But for sake of making it simpler, we are going to add a new feature where we will show the delta from yesterday, so that you don't have to do mind calculations, I guess, just to make it more simpler. So coming back to Zillow, Zillow is one of the stock which is seeing that uptick because of the overall environment. Uh, Fed's cutting the rate. Real estate sector is in uptrend, but you guys got to be very very careful, right? When this happens, when this happen, when I say when this happen, means when lot of stocks are in uptrend and there are almost no stock in downtrend, correction always happens. What I mean that by that is, usually what we do is we try to get into a stock when it's already an uptrend, when things are looking good. And you may have seen it. I personally have experienced this, that when I buy a stock, suddenly next day it goes down. So how do you avoid that? You avoid getting into a stock when it is already, I would say, overbought, right? In a simpler manner, or most of the stocks in that sector is an uptrend, which is good, right? There may be a room to play there, right? So if you are trading, if you are getting in, let's say today, or anytime in near future, you need to pay very very close attention to make sure that in the shorter term, that if something goes bad, Chris uses 10 over 20 EMA. Like if 10 falls, for example, in his case, below 20 EMA, that may be a sign for you to get out, because a correction may be happening, or it may be um, out there. So again, coming back to, whenever you're making decision, you need to have all these data points in front of you. You want to see sector, you want to see market breadth, you want to see individual stock. I mean, I can't make a decision about a stock just by sector alone. So I want to look into where the oscillator is. In this case, as you can see, the oscillator started moving up when we generated this buy signal, which is good. It's an uptrend, which is again, great. So looks like it's a great opportunity. And as I said, you can find ton of opportunities. I mean, you can do the similar analysis on these other stocks that you see in our bull and bear list. Okay, so coming back to how I start from market breadth, right? So looks great. Market breadth looks great. Still, I will be very careful with what's going on with Fed. I don't know how market's gonna react. There are opportunities. You can find the opportunities in bull bear list. Zillow is one of them, right? That buy signal came today. So that's great. We did some analysis around Zillow, right? So personally, I already know how Zillow does in terms of the revenue and all that. But if a company that comes in our bull bear list you are not uh, very familiar with, I would suggest go and look recent filings. I always look for. I always make sure that company is not a loss making company. If I'm going long, right, then I'm just betting. If a company is doing good, right, and if I'm betting that it's gonna go up, that's kind of makes sense to me. So if you're not familiar um, with that company, I would suggest go to Yahoo Finance. There are a lot of free resources where you can find, the recent filings. Not a bad idea, not a bad idea to also look into analyst rating, because many times, and again, like look for, any recent upgrades, because what will happen is, uh, lot of traders, they watch these analysts, and again, in my view, analysts are always late. Analysts are always late. They will change their rating based on which direction the stock is already moving. It's not, in my opinion, like a key data point, or I would say a timely data point, uh, that you need to consider. But it's an important data point, because why? Uh, think about it. You're planning to go long, and every other analyst has downgraded that stock. I'm sure they did their analysis. So you need to be careful during those scenarios. uh, I do look into news as well, market news, and I have this one of the favorite website that I use. So all it does is it simply pulls all the relevant news about that ticker, about that stock at one place. Plus, it also gives you a sentiment, how the sentiment is about that news. For example, Tesla, you can see, I don't know, Amazon. Like if I search for Amazon, it'll pull all the news related to Amazon. I can just clear Tesla here. Okay, yeah, Amazon to offer free prime benefits to US hourly warehouse workers starting next year. So again, if I just go by their sentiment rating, it's positive, 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 neutral. If I look at Amazon, right? So if I just pull Amazon here, and let's look at discretionary sector. So because it's part of discretionary. And again, whenever I'm looking at any stock, I want to make sure that I'm just not looking at that stock in vacuum. I'm looking at that stock. I'm looking at that sector. I'm just looking at the overall market. I'm also looking at if any major event is happening. Another thing is I try to stay away when the earnings are like coming, like if they're announcing their earnings, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I can't guess the numbers are gonna look good or not. Even sometime when number looks good, if the market is gonna react in a positive way or a negative way. So those are like little tricky times in my opinion. So I would avoid trading when the earnings are coming up. Just my thought process on that. Market breadth. Okay, so discretionary. Okay, looking good. It's already, so again, you need to make sure that whenever you decide to get in, you don't want to get in too late. Like when I say too late, when it's reaching, for example, here, right? You are like, hey, yeah, it's already moving up, but you see it's coming closer to this higher threshold, and it's going to change direction. Market's not going to go up all the time. It's going to change direction. So the good idea is when it changes direction, it may be a good time to get around, like early on, rather than very late. Like again, 50%, it's coming closer to 50%. I still think there's a room out there. You see number of stocks in uptrend, downtrend, it's in a good direction, right? So there's a room for some to make money if you're going long. So it's good. I look at Amazon. So if I pull here, it's not in this downtrend right now. It started moving up, which is a good thing. You always look for those triggers. What's gonna make this stock pop, right? So you also need to keep an eye on the news and some of the other things to make sure that you are not just getting in and it's just flat, and after holding for 10 days or 2 months, it's still flat, right? So all these external factors do add, but I think Amazon, again, based off of what I'm seeing, there may be a room um, uh, for the longs to make some money here. I mean, the buy signal came around, I think the date was August 19. The close price was 178. Right now, the close price is $186. So not bad, not bad, right? So good signal, I would say. And again, in my opinion, I may be a little late. Uh, I think you should also look into the block orders, which Chris explains in his videos. But overall, I think there are some good opportunities. But personally, I would be careful how the market is right now, because there's this caution around how it's going to react to Fed's rate cut. So right now, I'm just watching from outside. I'm just looking at it, um, you know, uh, making sure that I'm learning how the market is going to react, because all of it can help me in future as well. So the last step is, again, the trade setup, monitoring and exit. Whenever you get into a trade, make sure you are monitoring it every day. And I'm trying to put together these rules a little bit more in depth, so that I can share that sheet with you in coming probably a week and a half from now, uh, so that you can download that sheet. And again, thanks for joining. Before I can close this live session, we have a special going on. We are going to increase the prices, by the way, for Outlier platform. Right now, just for $299, you can just go to outlier.com pricing page. You can subscribe from there. There's a coupon right there on that page. You just need to click on this button to make sure that it's applied. So again, thanks for joining. I will see you tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want me to cover any stock, or want me to talk about anything else, let me know, and I can cover tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll just go over how everything is looking in the Outlier portal mostly, and talk about a little bit about how rest of the market is doing. Hopefully, it will help you, give you a little bit more insight with your decision making. And thank you again.